Right, so I am back in the game, back on the farm again a bit this morning. Things have cooled down a little bit at work, and so this is a line that we ripped a couple of weeks ago. We planted and it received rain the day before yesterday, and here you can see how much seeds are coming up in the line that was ripped. So we just walked up behind the ripped line, threw some seeds in, and you can see the cowpeas are the first to come up. Then Michael M mentioned that this pit here never fills up by itself completely. Every time it just gets a little bit of rain, so maybe we should just do a dug swale or a dug trench to make it to the back. Now, a very interesting comment, and one that I've been playing with, is T swales. So a flat area like that, and then you come back with a trench on the flat land, say for instance up to here. So the swale runs like that, but it then also infiltrates into a little T shape up into the back. Now the T swale idea also happens to happen when you have a cut, a wash. Let me show you on one of the washes quickly. Turn around, I wanted to show you that one day on the top swale, but it also works well here at the bottom swale. What happens when I talk about a cut, it's basically a erosion ditch or a ditch, and we took the swale straight across, so we didn't follow the contour. We skipped 5 or 10 meters, went straight across the gully, and so now it forms a T back. So the water fills up this ditch, for instance. Our normal swale, you can see the breadth of a normal swale there. But then, once it fills up this gully, it pushes back into the land in the shape of a T. And so you can mimic this all over the place. Then that not only gives you like a 5 or 10 meter wide area that's wet, it now also gives you a 5 or 10 meter area around the back cut, and that is wet. Then DAP came to visit me today. DAP stands for Development Aid from People to People, Namibia. They wanted to just familiarize themselves with our approach to rainwater harvesting and backyard gardening and how we do that in the townships. So this is then the official tour. Okay, so you've seen the garden now in front, and I quickly want to tell you just about the rainwater harvesting structure in the back. So we worked out that this is about 80 squares times 450 liters that falls on each square. So we could almost get about 34,000 liters harvested from this small roof here. However, obviously this tank is now a bit smaller, but all of the water, the roof falls this way, all of the water falls into these gutters here, then runs down over here, and then harvested from the tap in the back. They just open it, put a bucket below, and then they can use that in the garden. So with this small tank, they can extend the growing season there without purchasing any water, with another 150 days.
Okay.
Yeah. So we also this book from Brad Lancaster that you guys said you would like to buy. As I showed you, Emmanuel's wife got involved, and she chose a tank from here. Okay. Now we believe that it's very important for the people to buy into the project.
Yeah.
And they need to want to be part of it.
Yeah.
And so when she started reading through the rainwater harvesting book and she became involved and chose a design, I'm very excited to give her that, because that is now something that she had control over and she wanted in her heart. But let me show you the garden in front quickly as well. Gunther, will you walk with us? And so for your project, it will really help a lot. There's water coming in from there. That then gets harvested in this basin over here. There's five trees and then some vegetables, and then that goes through a pipe over there, and then that goes into that garden, into that wall, and that then feeds 5 trees over there as well. So the things that he needs to water now during this season, if it becomes dry for a week or 2, is maybe this guava tree while it is small, and these prickly pears, and this lemon tree. while it is small. That's the only thing that he needs to go and get water from is rainwater harvesting system to come and water. He can, if he wants, like we are having a good rain here now, can plant crops like the maize with the mulching systems and things that we teach them. That greatly improves the amount of water that he need to use. He doesn't have to use that much. It also helps with the fertility and the things like that. And then that rainwater, that worm drum there, he puts the water on top, harvests the worm tea at the bottom like I showed you, puts that on the plants, and that increases the fertility as well. And it only gets more and more and more. With the Lucina or Wonderboom as we call it here, that we planted there in the back, once a year you can chop them off, use that as mulch to cover all of this areas here. That then grows back next year. That thing grows 3 meters in a year. So next year you can cut that off, use the extra poles for shade or for whatever, use the leaves as mulch again. And that just keeps on improving fertility. And so that basically is the system here. Do you have any questions?
Yeah. The water that comes from the tank.
Yes.
Is there any pipe here?
No.
For the water to come. How is the water coming?
So the water that's running in here doesn't come from the rain. It comes from all the water that runs from the neighbors.
Okay.
Runs just behind this doghouse.
Oh.
Or below this doghouse, you can almost say. It runs down here, it hits this curb, and then you can see here the water was running.
Okay.
You can see here's the sign of the water running. So it runs in here. So this is not rainwater harvested from the roof. This is rainwater that we from the neighbors. Yeah. So because there's a little bit of a slope, we catch, I would say, hundreds of thousands of liters of rainwater in here every year. So this is a very important part, is harvesting rainwater. If the neighbor were, for instance, willing to do the same, and they would harvest rainwater there as well, if we can get enough neighbors to harvest the rainwater, these trees will use the water from that system there. So it's not a thing of, I don't want the neighbors to plant anything. The more people get involved, the more people harvest rainwater, the more the system becomes fertile for everybody. You know, you want all of your neighbors involved in this, because the more you have here, the more people puts water in the ground, the stronger this thing goes. That tree, for instance, it's not going to be too long before his roots are in the neighbors' yards. And if they have trees there, they will have roots in these yards. Trees don't care about the yard fences. They go everywhere. So you want everybody to harvest rainwater. And there's even too much water running in here. Sometimes it runs out there. It doesn't go out here. It goes out through that part there. So the water that falls on this piece of the yard also runs in here.
We can see how it made it.
So there's no water running out of the gate. At all.
It's a good initiative.
I
Because
think
water is more expensive.
exactly.
Like now, if we are harvesting water, at least it reduces cost also.
Definitely.
Instead of buying water from municipality and water the vegetable, at least you are harvesting water for free of charge.
Exactly. The initial system is a little bit expensive. We need to purchase the tanks and put up the gutters and things like that. But on the other house that I calculated, that we are busy with now, unfortunately it's not a running system, so I'm not going to show it to you. But that person will never in his whole life have to buy water again. He can use water from his roof. Even in the dry Namibia, there is enough water for one person to live in a house and use the water that he captures throughout the whole year. So I don't think Namibia has got a water problem. We have a water management problem. We're not using the water that God gives us for free. We're not using it in the right way.
It's true.
Right, I think that's the end of my story.
Thank you so much.
This is I don't know if you guys are familiar with the idea of a swale. A swale is a ditch that's on contour, so the bottom is basically flat. The rainwater comes from the top, fills this, makes a big river here, and then the water goes into the ground. And then the idea is then to plant on the side behind. So this thing, the whole thing, you can see it's still filled, full of moisture here. It was completely filled from here all the way to the end of the farm. It's filled. Rain came, filled it up completely, and the water became flat and quiet and went into the ground. So we get an average of 450 milliliters in Otjiwarongo, but here you can say we get maybe a meter or more of water every year, because you catch all of that. Maybe we get 2 meters of water here. So much water goes into this swale here instead of so much. So your rainfall, you increase your rainfall artificially, you can almost say. Okay, but let me show you the worms quickly. First, there you can see more prickly pears. There's a vegetable garden there behind. It's not one that I'm currently proud of, the vegetable garden. Is daar 'n plekkie wat hier baie is? So yeah, hulle sal hier wees. This is our worm farm. We actually removed quite a bit yesterday. See those worms? We sell them for $1 Namibian a worm. A worm. Yeah, and they breed
$1.
$1 a worm. And so there's a little bit more here on the fresh side. You can come check here. There's thousands here.
Yeah.
And so yesterday we took out 4,000 worms from this patch here.
Then how do you remove? You just pick one.
These guys pick one.
Oh.
And we sell them. I market them on Facebook, and we courier them all over the country. And so for a long time, these worms were paying the farm.
Okay.
I got enough worms from this square here to pay the bond of the farm.
This is done for what?
For horses.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll find some more here, I'm sure. There's in this pile. There's thousands. There was 1 month that we removed 80,000 worms from this garden.
You got 8,000 from
80.
Oh, 80, then you get 80,000.
Yeah, actually that month, because they bought a lot, we gave them a discount. So that month we charged 50 cents for the worms.
Yeah.
So we received in 40,000 for the worms. But it's not bad for a area of your farm this size. 40,000 is a lot of.
Do you also water?
Yes, in the dry months we water. Now obviously with the rain we don't have to water.
Okay.
But we do give them some water as well.
Okay.
But then obviously we also have the benefits of the manure. Okay, then here. Yeah, that's why it's all turned out. The Wambus was coming to collect all of those grubs. That's why it's turned around like that. I had some, I think it's Wambus. Or it's the Wambu Nation that does that, eh? They were working on the swales here. And they removed buckets and buckets filled.
Really?
Yeah, they removed hundreds of like really 20-liter buckets. Each one of them went home with a 20-liter bucket of those things. Say again?
How much the white ones?
We don't sell them. Yeah, I just gave them as a snack. So when the people come to work here for the day, they get food, they get pay, and then if we have extra produce, they get that as well. So yeah, we do have some pigs. We feed them. You can see here we feed them with scraps that we collect from the town. We also give them extra pig grower, just to give them a little bit of body.
Yeah.
But we use the food from town to increase the weight and to do all of those things, to make it nice. This one is Buffalo. He will probably stay here. He's got a nice personality. He plays with the kids and things. These ones came, I think they came this morning. We get them from the neighbor, and then we feed 4. We make 4 of them fat, and then we take 1 of them. So they only arrived this morning. That's why they are still a bit skinny. We'll fatten them up now in the next couple of weeks. You can see the kraal has also not really been used.
Yeah.
In the next while they will turn this around and they'll start getting used to the food, and they will gain some. So they're a little bit skinny when they arrive, because there they focus a lot on grazing and having them outside. Here they're a bit more confined, so they will gain a bit more body. Okay. Just for interest sake, in here is a Lucina. So Lucina is a, to the rest of Namibia, is a pest. Wonderboom. You see them in town quite a lot. And against the fences, they make a lot of mess. But the protein part is so extremely high, it's higher than lucerne. So you can feed that to your sheep, you can feed that to your cows. In Australia, they feed that to cows, plant them in the fields, and they can take the cows off 90 days before they normally would take them off and sell them. So they save 3 months on every cow. Okay, here you must just be careful not to slip here, so I'm not going to walk through here. This is just the structure in the river to hold the water back a little bit. We try to, the general idea with water always is to spread it down, slow it down, and sink it in. So this is, the water comes from the river, hits here, it spreads out, then it builds a buffer, it slows down, and then it starts sinking in. So when I arrived here, this was all just sand. But because now there's a lot of water standing still, the grass, you can see how the grass looks now compared to my neighbor's land. Even on the flat land, you will see it now. We have the water calming down and going into the soil. Yes.
What is this thing for?
This thing is for the kids. So you put a, so very much my focus on this farm is children. Put a child on here, you run like this, and it goes there, and then you hope it doesn't let go. Otherwise, yeah, they scream. Even the guys working for me, they scream when they go there. Ah!
Oh, imagine.
Yeah, you know what? I had some teachers here, big teachers like this, bringing the kids here. They swing on that thing and they scream like little girls. So this dam here, my wife said to me one year, we should buy one of those swimming pools, you know, those plastic ones. And those ones sell for about 3,500 Namibian dollars. And so we said to ourselves, that's about 35 bags of cement. So instead of buying that one, we bought the cement and we built the dam. And so this is our visitor center. It became our visitor center. The kids and I started building with our own hands. Later we got some help. And it's a nice place for the kids. And when it becomes dirty, you open here, and then that water is filled with nutrients. It feeds the forest.
Is it rainwater?
No, unfortunately not yet. Hopefully one day we'll have enough water here to make it rainwater. But
It should be cool.
yeah, every day, every single day, the kids are in here. Every day. Okay. They run from there and they jump in there. That is our little tree house that's still under construction. So this idea behind this whole place is to be a paradise for the kids. Okay, here you'll have to use a bit of your imagination, but every one of these yellow poles is a big tree. Yeah, you can see this is a papaya, this is a pomegranate, that's a mulberry, that's a papaya. So each one, as you can see, all the yellow poles is a big tree.
Who's Damien?
Damien is just one of my friends. Yeah. So here we use the same worm system. So we have a worm. Here you can have a little bit of a better idea. You put the water in here every day, just normal water, and then you put that underneath, and then that runs out during the day. That will fill up, and then when it's filled, you can use this compost. It's here now, and you can use that in your garden. So worms is a big part of our fertility systems on this farm. Yeah, so there's a lot of things that isn't even marked. So there's prickly pears here that will grow up as well to be big trees. and they're not even marked. You can see here. The ducks gives us a little bit of eggs, and then they can help control the termites. So these things here captures water when it rains. It captures water, fills up. There's some worm castings below there, and then that feeds that tree, that tree, and that tree. I think there's a tree behind there as well. The circle then feeds those trees.
This is a sunflower.
Sunflowers, yes.
Okay.
Well spotted. Yeah, we just planted like bunches of them everywhere. Between them there's Lucina. You see that one? That is what Lucina will become a big tree. The big trees, those Lucinas everywhere, they're not all marked. There's hundreds of them in here. They will be chopped and dropped. So when they come the size, we chop them, we put them on the ground to feed the garden. Then they grow up again, we chop them again every year just to feed the garden, to continue the nutrient cycle.
But why do you grow them like this?
Just to have some companions. Okay. So the roots mix with one another and they talk to each other. Okay. The sunflowers I sacrifice. It's okay if they don't yield to the fullest capacity. All I want from them is to shade a small tree, this tree, and to give it a better chance to grow. Okay. So these trees we notice when you plant them alone, chances of them surviving is close to zero. Okay. But when there's a little bit of life around them and a little bit of mulch and a little bit of shade, then they grow. And they will kill all of these other things. Okay. But then they are strong. Then it's fine. That is the product that we want. Is those trees over there. This thing is very wet, so we're not going to go through there. I just want to show you that is a we call those things, those big trees in the north, baobab. Oh. That this one here. Yeah. There's also umtete. What do you call those things here? Yeah. This is a baobab. Oh, yes. Growing here. So there's a water harvesting structure, quite a big one. Big water harvesting structure there, and so that water will feed this one. This one will become a major tree. Yeah, in here, just for interest sake, I don't think you'll ever use it, but just for interest sake or for funniness, we made a pizza oven. Yeah, we make pizza in here. So you make a fire, this whole thing becomes very hot. Then you can put your pizza or your bread or whatever in there, and it serves just as well as an oven. Okay. Yeah, it works very well.
Then the smoke comes out.
Comes out there and in the back. Oh. The ants build the chimney for us. Okay. Yeah. In the olden days, this is what my tribe used to make ovens like this. Yeah. You know, when they were moving around. But that's many years ago. Now it was just for the fun of it, you can almost say. Okay. That we made that. It's quite deep, eh? It's about just quickly want to test something. Crawling through the bushes now to get to this one. Otherwise we'll have to walk around, but let me show you in any case. So there's some more worms there. Worm system, it can be very small or very big, the worm system. It doesn't all have to be one specific size. And sorry for the bushes, we'll still open this over here. Say again?
The land looks so fertile.
Yeah, it is. It is. So 6 months ago, this was all dry desert, rock hard. Then we started making these things. We call them African smiles. The one you're standing on, you can see it looks like a smile. Yeah. So this point and that point is on the same level. Then you make a half moon, and that then catches the rainwater. But when you put them in sequence, there's a lot of water. We have a swale, you know, those things that I showed you on that side, like a fake river coming in there, overflowing, and then going into the first one of these, the first African smile. That fills up and goes to the next one, goes to the next one. You can see there's trees between them. In this area between this annual plants, there's about 40 trees growing as we speak. So if you come back a year or two from now, you'll walk into, if you walk in here, you'll walk into a forest. Let me show you on that side quickly where the water comes in. These are all just annual plants, cowpeas and things like that. But you can see, yeah, these things will never in their life, we'll never have to water them again. We planted them 6 months ago. These African smiles will fill up, has filled up enough this year to carry them for another 3 years. We will never in our life have to give a hose pipe of water to this land again at all. These trees will grow all by themselves. Okay, so this is the water comes from the road there. It fills up this wall here, runs through the bushes there, comes here, fills up this little pit here. These are elephant grass that we are just propagating to make more, and then it runs over here, and then that in turn fills up.
Then what are you planting? What are you planning to plant here?
The guys planted some things. I don't know what they planted now, but some annual crops just to cover the ground. 6 months ago, this place looked like that. So the only thing we changed is we made the African smiles and we kept the animals out. But there's a lot of water coming in here from, we capture it from the road over there. All the water coming from the road comes in this way, goes in here. I'll show you now with the other ones how these pits at the other swale, I'll show you how these pits work compared to other planting systems. But they can work very well. But you can see in each one there is something growing. Well, the only thing we missed out on the design here is the pathway. We should have made a better pathway for visitors to walk. And as you walk through, you can see food coming along. There's moringa here, there's prickly pear there, there's a guava there, fig, lemon, so many different things are. And that lemon made quite a lot of growth this year alone. Okay, good that you can stop and then we can walk to the... Do you also want to try and touch it?
Touch it.
Hello. Good one can touch. Oh, we need to take them to a pool so the people use them for this festival.
Yeah.
For this festival. They are tall enough. He looks like the dog. Hey. You know how to make it? Oh, there.
Yeah, 5 I think. 6. 6, yes. Alright.
Yeah.
But you can change this into, if you stop overgrazing it, and you put in the water harvesting structures, this place can look like that in a year's time. Easy. The thing here is we're overgrazing with the horses. It is almost a sin. It hurts me every time I see the land like this. But we have horses and so we have to keep them. But the problem in the rural areas is those people have livestock that they overgraze way too much. And so we don't have enough land to support 6 horses. It's just, in Namibia, a horse eats way too much, more than a cattle. And so we, instead of messing up the whole place, we decided to just mess up this one place. Okay, so here in the river, same thing occurs in the rivers. If the rivers becomes too fast, then they take the soil with them. So our whole idea, our whole approach in the rivers is to slow them down.
So that's why the tires.
Yeah, the tires are not as effective. I'll show you there is an effective system. This one we're still constructing, but even the bushes just like that. If you can get them to stay. If people don't have any money at all and they just do that, then they will improve the amount of water that they keep on the land tenfold. If you have a little bit of money and you can build a system like this, and it's not that much. I think this whole system costed about say 3,000 Namibian dollars. That includes the labor, includes the wire, includes the poles, everything. Here you can see how much water was rushing through here, and it kept the sediment back. Now in the past I've seen even 20 days after the water is gone, you can dig there, it's dry. You can dig here just below the branches, it's wet. It keeps the water in place and it pushes up there, and then that also benefits everything going down that way. That in turn will now lift the river bank up slowly over the years, cause it to spread out across the banks. That gives it more place to percolate into the soil. So whenever you think of water, just remember to slow it down, to spread it out, and to sink it in. That is our whole approach. I believe Namibia's rivers are one of the most underutilized things in the farming system. When you have a river, you have a gold mine. I calculated in money worth, the amount of water that falls on this piece of land can buy this piece of land every year. So we paid 650,000 for this piece of land. We have 635,000 Namibian dollars worth of water that falls with rain. But if you then calculate the amount of water that comes in through the river, that doubles or triples that. So if you can just utilize that gift that we receive every year, the rain, and use it appropriately, you can become very wealthy, or you can have you can live in a Garden of Eden. You can rather say it like that. So you see the holes everywhere. Yeah. Our idea is we planted them as well. They'll pop up soon. But our idea with the land is to make it look like a muffin pan. Yeah. Because a muffin pan, you cannot drop a water there and it will run off the side. Somewhere it will run into a hole. So the idea with us and land is to make it look like a muffin pan. You can just come this side. You can see there's something starting to pop up already from the last rain. So this is again the water that falls there at your car. It spreads out all the way across and it fills up these washes and it runs back. The water runs back in here, and so all of this you can start immediately planting trees. As soon as your tree hits that water bank below, that water bubble that forms now below this area, you will never have to water it again. So you can put fruit trees there behind the banks. Never in your life you will have to. Maybe the first year you can water them. After that, never again. You'll never have to water them again. You get free fruit for the rest of your life. Yeah. So all about putting water in the soil. Yeah, you'll be able to see that more in action.
Wherever you see water, it's surrounded by big trees.
Yeah, exactly, because the water goes into the soil and it makes a bubble there. It's like a bank. The tree can go and collect what it needs from there. Yeah. You can feel that the temperature changes.
Yeah.
The whole atmosphere changes here.
Yeah.
Just quickly want to have some water. Crocodile. Yeah, you can see this is my top swell. And you can feel this one is now a little bit older, but you can feel it's almost a different climate down here.
Yeah.
If you plant fruit trees alongside it, then it becomes really special. And just be careful of slipping here, ne? Yeah, this thing fills up almost all the way. See that line there?
Yeah.
Fills up all the way there. And then all of that water is now in the ground. So there's a big bank. If I start planting trees, and I will plant trees here along the line, I will maybe have to water them the first year. After that, never again. So this whole place will be a forest. 10 years from now, you'll not walk around here in the sun. You'll walk in the shade everywhere. These are those planting pits. So we noticed that the traditional way of planting was just making it lower and then planting. So we made them a little bit deeper, shovel by shovel. These ones have now filled up with sand a little bit. Shovel by shovel by shovel, this deep, and you plant, and then they grow. We planted on that side first the traditional way. Just make the soil loose, put the seeds in, and our crops completely died here. Yeah, we made them deeper, so the birds also can't come and scratch. They don't want to put their heads down there. And then the water comes and it's got a place to rest in this. But so this one didn't wash up that much. You can see they're still much deeper. Yeah, you can have a better idea. These ones are still younger, still newer planting pits. This is the ideal. Just a shovel by a shovel by a shovel, about a shovel deep. And then the birds can't scratch down there. The water falls in and it's got a place to rest. These ones is now newly planted, so they will sprout out in the next 7 days as well. I also did a comparison there on corn that I want to show you quickly. The difference between mulch and no mulch. Say again?
I'm saying the water now is like conserved.
Yes.
The water could be running, washing.
Exactly, yeah. This could have been in Uys by now, or in Umaruru. Uys actually, we'll go to Uys. Go through there. Yeah, it goes into the, what's this river? The water pressure is a bit low, but you can just open it wide. Oh, yes. Oegap. From here it goes into the Oegap. I think it ends up in Enties. No, sorry, Torabai. Torabai, yeah. So the water, all the water from here, if you don't catch it here and put it here, it goes into the desert and it goes into the sea. So it's better to use it here where the humans can use it. Yeah, you can see how much water was in there. So this year we'll be planting, and then 3 years from now there will be plenty of trees. Plenty of trees, yeah. So here we did an interesting experiment. Lucas, what do you see?
The beans.
Beans, yeah. I don't think next year we'll have 2 little beans. We'll have enough. Everywhere, yeah. Whole farm full of beans. Yeah, we did an interesting thing. So Lucas was working for me. He planted this area here. And he said now he's going to put no mulch, no compost. The soil is still new. He will just plant this area like this. You can see his corn. And then come around. Let me show you. On that side I placed some mulch, not enough. I wish I placed more. We placed 1 scoop of a little bit of compost on each plant, and we placed we ended up planting some beans and things between that as well. But yeah, you can see each plant has got fruit, every single one. And that is just the difference between leaving organic material on the ground, removing organic material, and leaving it and placing a little bit more. Is the difference between having food on each plant, every single plant there's food on, and having absolutely no food at all.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, a small difference. Same area, same planting day, everything is the same. Only difference is the mulch and the compost. And this is just some pumpkins we planted. When we built the swale this year, there was nothing growing on it yet. So we just wanted some roots in it. So we planted some sorghum and some grasses and some pumpkins and things on the swale on that side. And so all of this is now growth from there. But the main idea was just to stabilize it, so it doesn't wash away. So next year we can plant the trees. But because it was still fresh, you know, there was nothing growing there. We just wanted some roots on it. And so that's...
Also here you collect worms.
No, not yet. But I should. But what will work very well here is if you put, I saw it on YouTube, if you put this much soil, climb off there, go eat that ant.
Wow.
It eats all the insects and does all the things, so you create a nice ecological
It's nothing heavy. I am full of different things. She's fine.
If I think of a tree that will change Namibia's rangelands forever, it's this and the prickly pears. Both of them are extremely good for cattle feed, and they grow easy in our climate.
Plant soutboss.
And soutboss. I just don't know soutboss that well.
Just give it a try. Nice hedge, very hardy, limited water.
I should maybe get some from you.
I don't have. Okania has.
Okay. And soutboss, yeah, soutboss does
I
well.
have a bush, but I don't succeed in making cuttings.
What do you see?
No, I was asking like where do they get the seeds? How do you grow them?
Oh, they have that's the other thing. They are a nitrogen fixer, so they carry a pod, like a bean.
Like the bean.
Yeah.
Is it the one that people used to eat?
You can eat it, yes. Yeah. But no, you're thinking of
They're tasting a bit sweeter.
No, you're thinking of I'll get to that name now, but no, it's not the same. The Damaras eat them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
I thought it's the one.
It's not. That one, this one you cook when they are young, but it's not as sweet as that one. That one is very much illegal in Namibia. Yeah. They try to, this one actually as well. Most of the nice trees are, but that one they really try to control.
Yeah, it's invader if you have it in.
Yeah.
It's the Oranje River, Orange River. It's a major problem.
Yeah. It depends on where obviously and how you control it. But yeah, when they sell a new land in the township, they write in the deed, on the title deed, it says that you're not allowed to plant that tree.
Oh.
Yeah, you can lose your land if you do. It's called what is the name?
What?
The other one in the townships, but it's got a dark hardwood. You can harvest for yourself, eh?
Okay, switch off now.
Yeah.